Dickie Arbiter is a royal commentator. He joins me now from London. Thanks so much for being with us. I mean, how should the royal family, and even the British people really be feeling about this interview?
They'll be shocked. Shocked that a member of the royal family had asked Harry how dark Archie's skin is likely to be. I should add here and now that Oprah Winfrey on CBS's This Morning a few hours ago did make it very clear that she had been told by Harry that it wasn't the Queen and it wasn't Prince Philip, but we still don't know who it was. But people will be shocked by that because the palace is known for not being racial. As far as Meghan wanting to commit suicide, being at such a low ebb, that will also be a tremendous shock. She did say that she had received so much unprecedented press that it affected her badly. There were a lot of stories about her, a lot of stories that were untrue, but it was a complete, as she called it, a barrage. And she said it was unsurvivable, which indicates that, yes, she was suicidal. And it's just the fact that Harry was there that she was able to come through that dark period.
I don't want to sound cynical here, but could that backfire on her? You know, to say she was suicidal because she was having, a difficult time with in-laws while still leading a pretty privileged life. Do you think there are going to be people now that are coming out and complaining about her being a kind of poor little rich girl? She has so much privilege and a husband that loves her and this amazing life now as this free woman, but still with the fame of the royal family. Do you think she might come in for criticism for that?
Interesting question, Andrea. Certainly not in the United States. They're very much on the same page as Meghan. In the UK, they haven't seen the interview yet. It's going to be shown tonight at 9 o'clock UK time, GMT. People will then make up their own minds about it. There will be those who will sympathise with Meghan. There will those who will say, well, exactly what you have said, poor little rich girl not being able to cope. There'll be a mixed bag. People feel very let down the fact that Harry and Meghan decided to leave the United Kingdom at the beginning of last year. They had such high hopes at the time of their wedding that here was a breath, I hate to use this word, but a breath of fresh air coming to work in the royal family. And it was such a letdown when they did decide to eventually and set up in Canada, first of all, and then to Los Angeles.
Right. Let me ask you this. They are both going to be looking for income because they no longer have their money from the royal family. So interviews like this are a potential source. Do you suspect, as some have said, that they are selling a bit of scandal in order to make themselves kind of more marketable? Because they're not going to get interviews like this if they don't have scandalous, interesting things to say.
Well, they made very clear in the interview last night, and Oprah Winfrey made very clear that they received no money for it. They have that, or Harry has that legacy from his mother. They've signed a deal with Spotify and with Netflix, and that hopefully will keep them going. They have, well, I suppose, a fairly rich lifestyle because they've got a big house. It has to be maintained. They have security. The money was cut off, the money was paid for by the Prince of Wales, but as they were no longer working royals, he felt that there was no need to continue paying. The money that he paid, and he pays William, is to run his business, to run the business side of the royal work that he does, he and Catherine, as Harry wasn't doing any royal work, that he felt that it was time to cut his strings. And Harry was on his own. He felt very let down. And he tried to call his father. His father wouldn't take his calls. He still is in contact with his grandmother, the Queen, but he's feeling probably very battered and bruised. And talking to Oprah was one way of getting things off his chest.
Great stuff. Dickie Arbiter, thank you so much for taking the time to share your opinion with us. We greatly appreciate it.